So good evening, everyone, and I'm calling the special meeting of the Palm Springs Airport Commission on Thursday, October 6th at 5:30 p.m. sharp. At this time, I'm requesting Commissioner Breslin to lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
My honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Breslin. Do appreciate that. And Christina, roll call. Oh, I forgot. Did we post the agenda and the date?
Yes, Chairman Dada, we posted the agenda on October 4th.
Terrific. Roll call, please.
Commissioners Adams,
Present.
Breslin,
Present.
Badillo, Burke,
Present.
Corcoran. I do believe I see Vice Chairman Corcoran in the meeting. Chairman Dada.
Present.
Thank you. Dada,
Here.
Feltman,
Here.
Hedrick,
Here.
Hughes, Martin, Miller,
Here.
Payne, High, Schmitz,
Here.
Slama,
Here.
Suero, Wheel, and Wiseman.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you all commissioners for joining at this time. I will entertain a motion for the acceptance of the agenda for this evening's meeting.
So moved. Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So we will move on to our introduction and presentation, and I believe Daniel Meyer, our Director of Air Service Development, and Katie from Aviatric will give us a brief presentation. So Daniel, take it over from here.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Gadada, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our second public working session. My name is Daniel Meyer, and I'm the Deputy Director of Aviation, and I oversee marketing and air service development for Palm Springs International Airport. Over the next 20 to 30 minutes, we are going to recap our journey so far from our start in the early 2021 in developing our comprehensive marketing and communications plan that led us to this branding and design process, which is why we are all here today. After a brief overview, we will also open up the floor to those who want to provide comments. So our branding journey began in 2021, which we'll recap and review through today. But first, I want you to see the full path of the process to develop the airport's first comprehensive brand and the steps for success demonstrated here. We began with step one, the research phase, and our consultant, Aviatrix Communications, will explain this and the other steps during their portion of the presentation. We then moved on to clarify the strategy, and now we are currently in the design identity phase. And then we will move on to creating touch points, which will range from what you'll see online and in our advertising to visuals that will be incorporated in the terminal complex. And then we'll move on to the final step of our and develop our asset management plan.
Yeah.
Palm Springs International Airport is owned and operated by the city of Palm Springs, but unlike other city departments, the airport does not receive any local tax dollars to operate. The airport is an enterprise fund and operates much like a private business would. Like a private business, the airport is responsible to generate its own revenue. It is responsible for its own debts and expenses. The airport funds its own projects, renovations, and expansions. And therefore, the airport must operate like a successful business to stay solvent and continue to meet the needs of the community. Where the airport differs from a private business is that we operate in the public arena because this airport is owned by a government entity. Since the airport is a self-sustaining enterprise, we must market the airport to ensure our long-term success. Having a fully developed brand is part of any successful marketing effort, and it will help us ensure our future success and our ability to serve the community. Palm Springs International Airport has never had a brand or identity developed for it. The airport has had many logos over its history, but a brand is much more than just a logo. A fully developed brand is a commitment to how we want others to see and experience the airport, including our staff who are responsible for operating the airport. This brand will guide airport staff in our quest to create a world-class airport to represent this world-class community. This brand will become our commitment to this community and to those visiting our valley. In early 2021, work began to establish a comprehensive communications program. As part of implementing that program, the airport conducted stakeholder interviews, internal surveys, and a community-wide survey to gather existing opinions about the airport and its offerings, and to provide a baseline to measure the efficacy of future communications. Both qualitative and quantitative research efforts were conducted from July 2021 through February 2022. In preparation for the branding process, the airport had already conducted several focus groups and community surveys. The first focus groups were held in 2021 and included regional partners like the City of Palm Springs, airport executives and staff, businesses and tourism partners such as Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, Palm Springs Bureau of Tourism, Visit Greater Palm Springs Chamber of Commerce, local businesses, and the Palm Springs Airport Commission, which has representatives from all 9 Valley cities. Topics discussed included air service, facilities, and a passenger experience. We worked to discover the airport's strengths, our attributes, the opportunities, and what our potential threats may be, such as regional competition. Our passengers and regional researched, along with a look at outbound and inbound travel, the current status of the airport, and what the expectations are for this airport. And here are some of the key takeaways from those focus groups. The research found that people have a false perception that flying from Palm Springs is too expensive when compared to other airports in our region, that this airport is seasonal only, and that we only have a few airlines and routes. The Coachella Valley is growing, and there are more permanent residents moving in versus seasonal thanks to the rise of remote work. Our airport offers year-round nonstop service to multiple destinations, but this information has not reached the entire community, nor is it fully resonated because many aren't aware of what our airport has to offer. PSP's value proposition for locals is cost and time savings when compared to driving to other airports. And PSP is an asset of the City of Palm Springs, but the research also found that residents and business owners throughout the entire Coachella Valley must identify with PSP as their airport as well to help ensure our long-term success. In March 2022, we had an independent third party conduct a community survey. The goals of the survey were to benchmark the perceptions of our airport among the local air travel consumers, identify the travel dynamic profiles of Coachella Valley residents, rank the hierarchy of drivers that define Coachella Valley residents' air travel choices, determine the sticky points that resonate with Coachella Valley residents within and outside air travel, and quantify the reach of the airport's radius of influence, including opportunities for influencing those not using PSP to become users and start viewing Palm Springs as a viable option when they need to fly. Per the survey findings, PSP owns some appealing attributes that will inform our brand story and our positioning. But just as we learned from the stakeholder focus groups, the market area lacks understanding of the number of nonstops and airlines. Market area residents have a significantly lower awareness of PSP compared to other area airports. LAX is #1 top of mind, for instance, but PSP owns appealing attributes that inform the brand story and our positioning. Coachella Valley residents rank PSP the highest as an important part of the community, as well as a nicer and less stressful airport than other options. 54% of those surveyed are aware of PSP, but have not flown from Palm Springs. Of those that have flown from Palm Springs over the last 12 months, 79% say it's conveniently located, 78% said PSP is even easy to navigate, and then 59% said it has a comfortable and welcoming interior. PSP determined the brand goal upon completion of the market research and what it told us, which is the need to establish a vibrant, unique airport brand that repositions the airport from one that serves just the City of Palm Springs to one that serves the entire Coachella Valley. We then proceeded to the next steps of the plan, including establishing the mission, vision, and values for PSP with our on-site staff and developing a related airport brand. We've reviewed the why, and our next steps in the process are to develop the airport's first standalone brand and a rollout plan for that brand, followed by creating a new mobile-friendly and ADA-compliant website. So how do we get to this? It started with what is known as an RFP. Public agencies like the City of Palm Springs utilize the request for proposal RFP process to find companies that are interested in performing work for us. Companies submit their proposal, which includes their experience, qualifications, and their plan to do the work we are hiring for. Their proposals are then evaluated by the criteria set in the RFP to select the most qualified company that submitted a proposal to do the job. And I want to talk a little bit more about the RFP process. There is a standard process by which the City of Palm Springs solicits and evaluates potential contractors. The city used this process to find a partner to develop an independent airport brand and a related airport website. The airport branding and website request for proposals was made publicly available in March 2022, and the city issued this RFP seeking contractors for the project. It contained the details on the work needed, the contracting process, and the criteria the city would use to evaluate and select a company for the work. The city advertised this RFP for 30 days in a variety of sources, including online and in print, to inform potential contractors about the opportunity. An evaluation committee reviewed the submitted proposals for compliance and determined the qualifications of the proposers. 53 total companies registered as a prospective bidder and received the RFP documents, meaning they received all of the information to submit a proposal to create our brand and website. Of those 53 that received the RFP documents, 4 were from the Coachella Valley, 3 from Palm Springs, and 1 from La Quinta. 8 bids were received to create our new brand and a website. 8 bids to create our new brand and website were received from firms across the US and Canada. No Palm Springs or Coachella Valley firms submitted a proposal to create a new airport brand and website. In May 2022, the evaluation committee reviewed the proposals that were received and selected the most qualified based on the evaluation criteria stated in the RFP. This is how Aviatrix Communications was selected. The airport leadership has changed dramatically over the last 2 years. It was very clear from the feedback of the stakeholders and staff that new leadership has been a much needed and positive impact and serves as champions for change. Previously, the leadership did not include the staff in decisions regarding the airport, nor is there any collaboration among departments, stakeholders, or staff. The old way was to be reactive. Now we are being proactive. Mission, vision, and value statements are the foundation of any brand. They describe the company's goals, the way employees want to work together, and the ways they want to be perceived by their customers. The airport's mission, vision, and values are guiding statements for internal staff, so the airport included a cross-section from all departments: airport leadership, marketing and air service, administration, airport security, airport operations, and airport maintenance. Airport staff is one of the most important stakeholders because they have to live up to the brand promise every day. We can't just hand it to them. They have to deliver, approve, and implement and protect. Our mission is how our staff will provide the best customer service every day. It is an ideal that we will strive to live up to in order to support our local and visiting travelers. Through the branding process, PSP defined its mission statement as follows: to provide an unrivaled experience for all who travel through Palm Springs International Airport. We will cultivate an environment that is safe and secure and as innovative, diverse, and welcoming as the region it serves. Our vision is our ultimate goal. It's what we want to become: a successful balance of innovative leadership, passengers who return again and again, and employees who are proud to work at the airport. We defined our vision statement as follows: become the most admired airport by creating a world-class transportation hub, loyal passengers, and an enthusiastic workforce. We've also defined our core values as follows: pride, progress, responsibility, integrity, diversity, and empowerment. A fully developed brand includes the core values of the organization. The values are the foundation of the brand and support our new mission and vision statements. All of us at PSP take pride in delivering an unrivaled experience for everyone who travels through Palm Springs International Airport. This has been our journey thus far, and next, Aviatrix Communications will take you through the beginning stages of the brand process. After Aviatrix, we will then open the floor for public comment. I want to thank everyone that's participated so far, and thank you for being on this call today. Now we have Katie with Aviatrix to explain the process further.
Thank you, Daniel. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Katie. I'm with Aviatrix Communications, and our marketing and outreach firm specializes in airport communications. Our team, we have either worked at or for a dozen California airports, including San Diego, San Jose, San Bernardino, and John Wayne. Together, we have more than 100 years of combined experience in airport communications, and we've been working with Daniel and his team at Palm Springs since early 2021 to help improve the communications from the airport with the community and also to attract new passengers. Here again is the branding process the airport has determined for the brand development. It is methodical and deliberate and recognizes that you can't complete one step, start the next step until you've completed the first step. Daniel mentioned the first 2 are complete, and we are now on step 3. Step 3, design identity, starts with the research. The airport conducted its research within the community, those using the airport, those who've never used the airport, and those stakeholders who depend on the airport to bring in visitors and to conduct business. That research is critical to knowing how people feel about their airport currently and what they would like to feel about their airport in the future. Like the airport's mission, vision, and values, the brand should be reflective of the community it serves, but also aspirational. So as part of our research, we also conducted a competitive analysis at peer airports to see how they are presenting their brands and themselves in their communities. These brands, of course, are more than just a logo. They are their website, social media presence, advertising, and generally how they put themselves out in the community. Again, the design identity phase. So we are currently establishing draft logos for refinement. We're taking the research mentioned, your input tonight, and working to create something the entire community will love. We also want to be sure the proposed ideas work across a variety of surfaces and materials. So a logo needs to be flexible and scalable and work beautifully across a variety of platforms. We want to be sure that we're addressing that now. We don't want to wait until step 5 to decide that the preferred logo doesn't scale well to a social media icon, for example. So after we've worked through those application possibilities, we'll present them to the airport and the city council for feedback, revisions, and approvals. We're not strangers to the region, but part of our work with the airport brand meant diving deep into the community and lifestyle. At Aviatrix, we have family homes in Palm Springs. We have been to Coachella. We hike in Joshua Tree. I have done more than my fair share of outlet shopping. Crystal loves the golf courses. We've been out for bachelorette parties and business conferences. We know that the community is more than one thing and that people choose to live and visit your community for a variety of reasons. So here is one of the mood boards that we've created to get a visual look at the region's culture and lifestyle and find those common themes within the variety of audiences and locations. It helps paint the picture for understanding who our audiences are. It's important to note that one audience is the local community and one audience is those who choose to visit Palm Springs and the entire Coachella Valley. We aim to capture this mood, this spirit in the final brand. We also created a mood board for research specifically on mid-century modernism, architecture, and the themes that we know are important to this community. So diving deeply into things that have clean lines, a combination of man-made and natural, that blend of indoor and outdoor, strong use of geometric shapes and bold fonts and vibrant colors. And those themes also influence our work as we move forward. As you can see, many successful brands in the region build off the area's mid-century modern ideals. There is, again, a look of strong fonts, bold colors, geometric shapes, a diverse range of styles and color palettes can be seen throughout the valley. Some are classic, like the Palm Springs welcome roadway signs, while others incorporate a more modern approach to both color and font selection, like Visit Greater Palm Springs. All of these are wonderful and showcase the unique vitality of the area and capture what's happening in the entire Coachella Valley. Competitive analysis, we want Palm Springs Airport to be like no place else, to fully embody the region's vitality and unique characteristics while still positioning the airport within as an important player in the region's aviation network. So it was essential that we look at what the competitors are doing. Some common themes here, a use of blue, not only in the 6 groups of Ontario, Long Beach, Los Angeles, San Diego, John Wayne, and San Bernardino, but across the country. Blue, sky, very easy for an airport logo to go in that direction. The other common industry practice you see here is the use of the airport code, ONTLAXSBD. One other common theme to note is that these are all independent airport brands. They are not subsidiaries or duplications of a city or a county brand. And that standalone independence, I think, is important here. Graphically, you'll see the use of airplanes is pretty common, not across all of them. San Bernardino, for example, is a pretty abstract look at a runway. Long Beach Airport has a definite SoCal vibe with the color gradient, the palm tree, the lowercase lettering. So how can we utilize some of our industry best practices while still making the Palm Springs Airport brand unique? And that's what we've been up to. Looking ahead, after the research, the feedback, the testing and approvals, come the next steps, and that is developing the implementation system. Here is where we finalize the brand look and feel and set the standards that reach across all mediums. We also prioritize the application process. The airport is a large organization with many touch points, and so we have to look at every application to see how and where the brand is used and prioritize the many elements that need to be updated. Which items have to be addressed first? Are they internal? Are they external? Which department owns the budget that will have to roll out those items, and so on and so on. But once those opportunities and the budgets are analyzed, we'll work with the airport to develop a rollout strategy that reaches stakeholders when most appropriate. That likely means rolling it out to employees first, who will internalize and bring to life the new brand. And then the airport will bring that brand throughout the airport space. Internal opportunities like floor mats and wall signs and shade hangers and directional signage, but then the full airport property, including the existing monument sign on East Ramon and Jean Autry, for example. The airport's website, social media accounts, and advertising will all have to be addressed at the right time. Step 5 is actually rolling out the brand, and here is where all our hard work and strategy pay off, and when community and travelers will get to come into contact with the brand. We'll also look to establish brand champions, both internal and external, who will share and promote the airport story, but those steps are still a ways away. So I'm going to turn it over back to Daniel to explain the next steps in the branding approval process. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Katie. So here are the next steps in the airport branding process that will follow these 2 public sessions. We'll next have stakeholder meetings and feedback synthesis will occur. After that, we'll move on to developing new concepts, or refinement of current drafts. The Airport Commission will review all options and make final brand determinations. And then finally, it will go to City Council for review, discussion, and eventually for their approval. The final brand will have to live beautifully in a variety of mediums. As Katie said, everything from the new website to the welcome mats at the terminal doors. There's a very deliberate process for the brand rollout based on priorities, budgets, and production schedules. But we hope you'll be able to enjoy your new airport brand this spring. Of course, the brand isn't the only thing coming online next year. PSP is also in the midst of implementing a new dining and shopping program. Regular improvements like our recently expanded ticketing area and our upcoming renovations to restrooms and gate areas are on the way as well. We're also excited to announce that we'll be beginning an airport master plan update, which is the ideal time to address the existing terminal and other physical characteristics of the airport. The master plan is a short, medium, and long-term planning document that will guide the airport's physical development over the next 2 decades. And public participation is a big and very important component of that process. So be on the lookout for more opportunities for the public to provide feedback on your airport. We hope to see many of you in our master planning meetings to help us decide where to take PSP over the next 20 years. Once again, we are thankful that you've chosen to participate in this meeting today. The airport is clearly important to you, and we are grateful for any feedback you can provide. And today, we would like your feedback on how you feel about the airport's current and future identity. There are 2 ways to share. You may now choose to raise your hand and provide public comment and share your thoughts. However, we're also conducting a confidential survey with details we can measure. Even if you choose to speak today, we also strongly encourage you to complete the short survey. The survey will close on October 10th. There is a link to the survey in the chat. You may have to open the chat on your screen to view, or you may find it online at palmspringsairport.com/survey. Again, it's palmspringsairport.com/survey. It will also be shared on social media in today's Facebook event comments. You're welcome to share with your friends and neighbors as well. Since this is an official city public meeting, comments are limited to 2 minutes per speaker, and like all city meetings, staff will not be responding. We're here to listen to you and to get your feedback. I will now hand this over to Christina to open the floor for public comment.
Thank you, Daniel. Please raise your virtual Zoom hand at this time if you'd like to speak, and I will call your name, or if you are on a phone, please press, you will press *6 to unmute yourself and *9 to raise your hand. So that is *6 to unmute and *9 to raise your hand. Bijan, you may now speak. You have 2 minutes.
Great, thank you. Well, it's great that you're putting all the beautiful efforts, all of you. I appreciate that from this area. So I'm a designer in Coachella Valley, and I mentioned in the past meeting that concerning about how designers can submit art to this process. So here's my question. So how can a local designer submit a design? So what is the procedure if that's the case? And that's it.
Thank you. Please raise your hand at this time if you'd like to speak. We have no other speakers for public comment this evening.
Excuse me, I'm raising my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. We ask that everyone else, please raise a virtual hand so that I can put you in the queue. Tom Doyle, you now have 2 minutes to speak.
Thank you for this opportunity to present my feedback. My name is Tom Dahl. I'm a resident of Palm Springs and a graphic design and branding professional. The airport is faced with many issues related to the huge increase in travel to the Coachella Valley. The many years when small changes were made to address immediate needs, but with no visual master plan, have taken their toll. The airport has become a visual jumble of cluttered advertising, mismatched signage, poorly chosen materials and colors, and no real sense of place. The biggest brand asset the airport has is the Wexler Terminal. The soaring ceiling, walls of glass looking out to mountain vistas, gleaming floors and open spaces encapsulated the Palm Springs lifestyle that the entire valley from La Quinta to Desert Hot Springs and the high desert bank on. But you would hardly know that today, as the terminal has been hidden behind sheetrock and ugly carpeting and blends into the drab atmosphere that is far removed from the glamour of desert living. An overdone and heavy-handed logo design, while the airport is going through such growing pains, only adds to the clutter, especially when the logo looks like the many other tourism campaigns that already exist. Let's take a step back and come up with a sophisticated and holistic visual master plan that befits the gateway to an internationally recognized center of style, design, art, and architecture, and a top vacation destination year-round. With a master plan in place that restores the Wexler Terminal, addresses signage and advertising, and brings Palm Springs style back to all areas of the airport, it becomes the perfect focus for a well-defined marketing and branding campaign that gets the community excited about this vision of the future. It also creates a roadmap for expansion that guides visual decision-making instead of piecemeal additions that chip away at the brand. The architecture, design, and preservation community, as well as the tourism-based business community, are ready to stand behind you and support a more sophisticated and holistic vision for the future of the Palm Springs International Airport. Thank you.
Thank you. Please raise your hand, your virtual Zoom hand, if you'd like to speak at this time. We have no other speakers for the public comments this evening. Chairman Dodd, are you still in the meeting with us? Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm here, and at this time, knowing that we have no other speakers, I'm going to close the public comments, and I want to thank the two speakers that joined us this evening, and thank you for joining us and participating in this session. Having said that, I will entertain a motion from one of the commissioners to adjourn this special meeting session this evening.
So moved. Second.
All right, thank you all for joining, and we will see you all.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Thank you.